Hey there, YouTubers. Me again. Sorry about getting my videos being spread out. I've been having some troubles with after the surgery and what have you, so I've not been able to get out here a whole lot. And then work piles up, you know, when you're down for a little while. And so I had orders and orders after orders that I had to fill. So unfortunately, my YouTube channel suffers, and I apologize for that. But we're getting back on track. Although, today we're going to be working on Mopar's red-headed stepchild. This is a 70 something, I think it's 77 Dodge Aspen. Also the Volare, the infamous F-body, which has not caught on to the mainstream exciting car realm yet. But it wasn't that long ago that the later 73 and 4, actually 71, 2, 3, and 4 B-bodies nobody wanted. You know, now all of a sudden they're getting popular because it's all that's left, right? All the other ones are so expensive, like my E-body I got sitting behind this car. They're god-awful expensive. You can't touch them. I mean, you're paying $2,000 for a shell, which is what I did here. So these are really good looking cars in my opinion. They have Roadrunners, and I think they got GTXs, and they've got rallies and specials, and they got all sorts of crazy stuff. You can get them with, you know, louvers and flares and spoilers, and these cars came dressed up from the factory. Just unfortunately they came out with the best offering I think was a smogged out 360. Okay, so there's no big block offerings. There wasn't any Interceptor engines that I know of. Of course, you can correct me if I'm wrong, right? But today, this car, it looks good, right? Body looks solid. Well, looks can be deceiving. Looks good if you want to drive plastic fantastic, because the rear quarter on the other side is pretty much all putty. And the floor pans, they got like some kind of sticky aluminum foil covering the holes. Yeah. So I'm going to put floor pans in this car. But here's the big but. Big but? Yeah, big but. You can't buy floor pans. I don't like them. So it's not going to be an easy swap in. And this channel has always, so far, been about stuff that you can do as well. Now sure, I can bring it in the shop. I've got a sheet metal brake. I've got a slip roll. I can make them, okay? And I can make them look pretty darn good. But if I do that, and you're watching, you may not have a slip roll. You may not have a shrinker or any way to do any of that. So I'm gonna see, and if you've watched the channel, you will also note that I put an A-body Mopar gas tank in a Gremlin. And what you haven't seen yet is I'm getting ready to put B-body, a 73 B-body floor pan, front floor pan anyway, is going to go in my Barracuda. If you do your homework, you will find out that different parts fit different cars up to a certain point. The B-body front floor pan and the the E-body front floor pan is the same, right? Who knew? Now if you buy a whole floor pan, it won't fit because the back's bigger on the B-body. But we can cut that in half, right, and use the front half, and woo, we're gold, right? I just happen to have a brand new one sitting in a car over here, so I spend money if I don't have to. But that's not what we're working on. We're working on the old F-body. This one happens to be an Aspen. Volare is pretty much the same thing. Remember the old commercials? I don't know how old you all are, but if you're around my age, you'll remember the old commercial, Volare, whoa, right? It was pretty catchy. I don't know who they had singing that. It was probably like Frank Sinatra or somebody. But yeah, it was a pretty catchy tune. But evidently the cars just never really caught on. And now you can't even you can't get a grill for these things. Grills are like the holy grail. If you can get a car, the grill itself is worth like $1,000. It's insane, but the whole car ain't worth that much. So it's crazy. You're gonna pay more for the grill than the car's worth. But all right, enough talking. All we're really gonna do today is I've got a whole yard full of cars. And if you've been watching the channel, you'll know that. Got about, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 6, 8, 12, 15, 25, 35, 60, 40-ish. Okay? Like the way I count. I do have a few oddballs, like one Fairlane and a Vega and, you know, a Camaro. But aside from that, it's all Mopar. This is Mopar country. Oh, yeah, there's a Blazer over there, too. I'm going to measure, I'm not going to measure this car, right? What? You're like, what? Wait a minute, I thought this was the car we're working on. Well, yes, but no. This car has seats in it. I did pull the back seat. That's how I found the aluminum foil floor pan. But I have several that are already parted out, that I've already cut floor pans out of. So I'm going to use those because the floors are bare. There's no seats in them or anything. And I'm going to measure those up. And I'm going to see if I can find, I'm going to go in and I'm going to start walking from car to car to car. And I'm going to measure up floor pans and see if I can find something that's close. Preferably something that they offer floor pans for in the aftermarket. Then I can measure, once I get it measured up, if I find something close, I can go ahead and order those brand new floor pans, right? Because I've already sold all the floor pans because nobody makes them, right? So I've sold all the floor pans out of these so far. And if I can find something close, we're going to put it in. And you're going to watch. Now, we're not going to get to that today because I still have to order them, right? But we'll see how many cars. This might be a short video. This might be a long video, right? Because I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 25, 35, 40 cars, right? To go through to see, well, some of them are the same thing. So maybe we'll cut it down to 30-ish. Maybe 20. Maybe 50. I don't know. Till we find it, right? Once we find a car with a similar floor pan, we're done. And this is going to be front floor pans and rear floor pans. We're not going to order a big single floor pan. That's just not going to happen. There's no way that I think that we're going to be able to do that. So we're going to have to pizza meal it. You know what I mean? Pizza, pizza, pizza. Like sections on a pizza. But we're going to make it happen. I'm a firm believer in it. Now, I even have a Camaro in here. And if that buggers will work, we'll use Camaro floor pans. I don't care. I'm thinking Mother Mopar is probably going to answer our call here because I've always thought A-body, but I found out that the Aspen, longer, right? The Aspen floor pans, the doors. I tried to put an Aspen door on an A-body, and it was like that far too long. So evidently they're probably more like the B-body, I'm guessing. And they are, like the Roadrunner was a B-body, and then they went from B-body to F-body. So we're probably going to have more luck finding B-body panels. So that's where we're going to go first. But we'll go E-body. I'll check the E-body. If E-body works, we'll order E-body floor pans. If it's B-body, we'll order those. If it's A-body, maybe I need A back seats and B front seats, or maybe I need E, B, C, D, A, F, G. Who knows? Who knows? But we're going to go through as many cars as it takes until we find the correct floor pan. But just for kicks and giggles, I'm going to take you over here and show you the aluminum foil floor pan, just so you know where we're at, and we'll go from there. Whoo-wee, it is hotter than Hell's Kitchen in here. But here's what I found. I started peeling back the carpet, and look, aluminum foil. There's like a hole right there. I can see it. I could probably push my finger through it. So we have aluminum foil and that flaky rust. So this is what we have to replace. I'm going to assume that all of these are bad. Hey, look, I found a carburetor. This car is just, it is full of stuff. But I think we've done a walk around in this car before, so we're not going to get into all that. But we're going to start measuring up on another car over here and see what we can find. Got my trusty pen and paper, because my memory is like a sieve. So from the column to the rocker, which is the end of the floor pan right here, is 25 inches. So wide, 25, right? Makes sense. Now, usually front floor pans end just before the seat. So it's going to flip up roughly 5 inches. That can be more or less. So we're going to put up 5 inch. That's toe. Okay, that's where your toes goes. And then from the bottom of that little toe to the seat is roughly 21 inches. So length 21, and this is the front floor pan, right? Okay, now seat pan is usually a separate pan unless we can buy the, and I'll get a full length one because maybe we can get a full length one. So that's the front one. Now, then we'll put a complete. So obviously our width is going to be the same, right? It's not going to change. So we're going to go magnets on the front of your measuring tape is never a good thing. Okay, we're going to start from the toe panel all the way to, and it is roughly 54 inches. So complete is long, 54 inch. All right, width should be the same roughly. Maybe the back's a little bit, I don't think so. We're just going to check the back real quick just to be safe. But it's probably going to be the same. 24, what did I have? 25, so that'd be fine. Now the seat section, we want, in case we're going to be buying them in sections, seat section is going to be difficult to get at. Here we go. Seat section is going to be roughly 20 inches. So seat length 20, and then the rear floor pan. Everything in his brother is in the way. Now from the back of the seat, to get this thing out of my way. Here we go. It's roughly going to be, we'll go with 14 inches. So about 14 inches. Now the good thing is that car isn't toasted all the way around. So rear is going to be length, and it's going to be 14. Okay. Alright, now to find a car that is similar. My first victim, or shall I say donor. I'm not really going to be a donor, I'm just going to see. My first helper, going to measure it up, whatever. 67 Satellite. They make floor pans for them. So I'm going to come in here. We're going to do the same thing and measure this floor pan up. We'll whip out my trusty pad, although I remember most of it. I'm going to do an overall, because I'd like to just order a long floor pan if I may. But if I got to order them in sections, I'm okay with that too. What we got? Complete would be 54 inches. Oh shoot, I don't even know if I can get to the end of this one. Yeah, barely. I'm going to have to get up under the seat to do that, but we can do that. There we go. Come on. Okay. So 5 inches to the toe. This one is 6, so that'll be fine. It's a little long. Alright, now all the way to the back of that. to the bottom of the toe. It's 57. And I need at least 54. So again, we're a little bit longer here, okay? So, B-body is 57. So we're just slightly oversized, which that doesn't hurt my feelings. So 57 for a B. Alright. Width, oh shoot. Kind of got all this crap here. I pushed it out of the way so I could measure, and then what did I do? There we go. Boy, it's dirty. Alright. So from the tunnel to the, now this one curves up here quite a bit. So before the curve is 24. And we needed 25. Ooh, it's a little short. 25, of course I can bend it. Oh wait, because over here it's a little different. So it is 25. Oh, it's almost perfect width-wise. 25 over here. It's going to curl up, but we can straighten it. That's not a problem. So that'll work. So this is 25. So this is right on the money for width-wise. So good. Okay, B-body's good width. Now from here to the seat channel is roughly 21. Oh, right on the money. From here to the back of the seat is going to be roughly 19 and a half. So the rear is 14. Okay, so this is going to be considerably longer lengthwise, at least the back seat. So longer is better, longer is good, short is bad. It's a little bit different configuration, obviously, but again, we're going to retain as much of the original floor as possible. So I think B-body is looking good. I really think B-body is looking good because lengthwise we're, what, 3 inches too long? And we're going to go ahead and measure an A-body and see if it isn't better. I've got an A-body over there. That should be perfect. Now the seat area is roughly 16. Oh, and that one's 20. So the rear, this rear floor pan would actually come up into the seat area of the Volare, or the Aspen. Because the seat area is 20 inches on that. Yeah, it's considerably shorter than that here, unless we go all the way up here to the seat. I mean, overall length, we're good. We're just going to have to improvise the seat if we need seat. Until I actually pull things out, I'm not going to really know. But we can get these ordered. I know it's crazy because technically you get the car all apart and then you really know what you're going to use. But in my case, I like to have the parts there already. And for what I'm seeing, I can make a B-body floor pan work. So let's go measure an A-body and see if that doesn't fit a little better. If the A-body is exactly 54 and all these other measurements are better, but this is going to be the big one, is it going to be wide? This is perfect width-wise. You know, over here where it goes in. So we'll go from there. Hopefully this won't, anything that's too long, we can always, like if it curls up here, we can always, you know, flatten this out. Not a big deal. And they always give you extra, like it goes up into the column and everything else. So we should have more than enough. We go with a B-body. Extra is good. Okay. Let's go check an A-body just for kicks and giggles. But as of right now, I'm pretty confident B-body floor pans will work. Now the A-body looks very much like the F-body. Your toe piece looks the same, and it's 5 inches. Let's go with width, see if we're good on the width. No, it's short. It's only 22. And I believe it had to be, yep, 22. So too small is not good. It looks the same, because of all that looks the same. But if I'm not mistaken, it's got to be 24 wide. So 25 wide. So I was correct in my guesstimation that the V-body is closer to the F-body, because that's what succeeded it, right? So this isn't going to work. Too narrow. Too narrow is not good. Too big is good. Too narrow is not. So, in spite of the similarity in look, no good. Okay, we're going to do one more. I was walking away, thought I was done, but I'm not. This was the predecessor directly before the F-body. This is the later model B-body. Now, it is the same floor pan pretty much from the 71, 72. I looked at them both. This one I can get a better picture of. I measured it, and from the bottom overall, it's only 53. The F-body was 54. However, this piece is 8 inches long, and it was only 5 inches long on the F. So we can flatten that out a little bit. Okay, width is 26, so it's an inch wider. Now this ends, these floor pans, this floor pan has actually been replaced. You'd be looking at it going, hey, why don't you just use that floor pan? That looks pretty good. Reason being is because this floor pan is going in my Barracuda, my E-body. So I'll be cutting this back out. This is actually a replacement floor pan that somebody put in this car. He did a pretty darn good job, I'll give him that. But you can see the seams all along here. It doesn't come up here like the original, but I'm okay with that. Okay, so I know the floor pan, the original floor pan, or a replacement floor pan, is only going to come to here. I think he put his seam, I don't even know where he put the seam on that side, to be honest with you. No. Thought this was, because this was, he did a good job, I'll give him that. But yeah, you can see some of the monkey in here, bad weld and what have you. Got some spot welds, but you see all these little plug welds. But he did a real good job, because I can't even see the seam on the other side. Oh, you know what it was? I bet it was a complete floor pan. Yeah, that's why. It was a complete floor pan. Alright, and this is where the seam was here. But okay, but anyway, we're an inch short this way, but we got plenty there. From here to here, the floor pan ends here. It's at 24.5, depending on where we go. It's 25 to here, so it varies, but it's going to work. And the configuration from here, because on the Aspen, is pretty flat here. The only difference is, see where this hump is? On the Aspen, the hump is over there. But since we are using an aftermarket seat in that car, I can always cut this out and put it over there if I need to. We're going to have to modify it, we know that. But it gets deep over here. Now this has, I don't know if you can see that, this has a hump right here, whereas the F-body doesn't. It's flat all the way over here. But I think we can make that work. We can take this, you know, if we get a floor pan that has this little hump in it, we could easily take that hump out of there and just go flat. We're going to have plenty of material to work with. And if I'm not mistaken, I think the F-body, most of the damage is on the flat side, so we may not even have to worry about any of this on the sides. We're going to make it try to look as original as possible, but he is building a hot rod, so he doesn't really care, but some of you may. So once we get this part in, we're going to see just how far off it is and how original we can make it. Because I want you guys, a lot of you guys are restoring your cars, and you want them back to original. And I want to see if we can make this floor pan look like it belongs there. Okay? That is the goal. You will have to stay tuned for that video. This is the measuring for success video. And or failure, right? Measuring for failure, that's a possibility. But I think we're going to be able to make this happen. It'd be better if I had a nice Alari with a good floor pan, but I don't. And So this is the next best thing. Well, there you go. This is actually take 2 on the ending of this video. I originally figured that the 67 B-body was going to be the best fit, but then I measured the 73. Now this is a 72, but nope, my bad, this is a 71. But I checked and the floor pans are the same, and I believe 71 and 2 are easily more easily available, more available, easier to get. Yeah, you can get them. I know you can get the 71, 72. I'm not sure about the 73 4. The video actually showed a 73 with those floor pans in them, with brand new floor pans in it, and it was a whole panel. I'm guessing that they're the same because he had to have bought that somewhere. I haven't got online to look to see what's available and what's not, but 71, 72 should be roughly the same, if not exactly the same. But that was a pretty close fit. I mean, it's almost to the inch. It's longer on the toe, but I'm okay with that. Longer is better, right? A little bit bigger is better. A little bit short on the back side, but we got so much toe, we just scoot her back a little bit. We got plenty of material. We'll have to do some you know, cutting and fitting and banging and stuff, but I think it's better than trying to make one from scratch, especially if you don't have the tools. I think time-wise, we're going to be better off with buying the floor pan, and fortunately, floor pans are not very expensive. If you buy them in 4 sections as opposed to 2, or if you buy them in 4 sections as opposed to 1 big piece, you will have, the shipping will be considerably less. Shipping is what kills you. If you buy a big floor pan, your shipping is going to be probably as much as the floor pan. If you buy the 4 smaller panels, you don't get all of it. You know, you're going to be missing a little bit. You won't get a hump. If you need the hump, well, by all means, you're going to have to buy the whole floor pan. But if you can get away with just patching the floor part, which on this particular project, that's what where I'm at, then it's going to be a lot cheaper shipping wise. If I buy the 2 panels, you know, the one long piece, I think that's going to work out okay, but I'd prefer to go with the 4 smaller if they're available, just because I could piecemeal it. And in this case, we're piecemealing no matter how you look at it. So stay tuned for the next video. That is going to be us actually trying to install these. Yep, next video on this car anyway. And at least fitting them, getting them, because we're really going to fit them first. We're going to get the old floor cut out, get all that rust cut out. Well, you know, it's a floor pan. It'll be a floor pan video. For now, this is a trying to find a floor pan video. So I hope you enjoyed it, and you'll have to follow along to see if it actually works. So whatever you do, don't take my advice just yet, but I am going to order some second generation B-body floor pans and see what we can do to get them into the 3rd gen F-body. Well, the 1st gen F-body, which is technically the 3rd gen B-body, because it's still a road runner, right? You get road runners. Yep. And then they had, I don't know if they made a GTX. I know they made a GTX in like the 80s, and that was kind of like an eagle kind of looking thing, which I wouldn't mind having one of them either. Anyway, I'm going to stop rambling now, and I appreciate you watching. Don't forget to subscribe. See ya! There we have it. B-body wins the day. This is a 67, but the floor pans, from what I understand, are 67, 66, 7, 8, 9, and 70. Have all the same floor pans. I will double check on that and let you know. Got a blood blister, you know, messing with the camera even. You feel bad? Yeah, I didn't think you would. But who knew that a B-body was just going to be a few inches different, but slightly bigger, which will work out really well. Different shape, but a floor is a floor, right? A few ripples. If we cut out the whole center of the F-body and then put the whole center from the B-body in it, nobody's going to know the difference. The biggest difference is going to be where the seat goes. So if we have problems with the seat, where the seat is, then we're going to have to do a little bit of finagling, a little bit of fabrication. But hopefully we won't run into that. I don't know yet because I haven't disassembled that car. Once we get to that point, we're not going to stop. We're just going to start working on that car and we're going to hit it hard. But there you go. Just stay tuned for the next video when we do it on the Volare or / Aspen. And we'll start putting these floor pans in. We'll see just how different they really are and how much modification we're going to need to make them work. Well, there you go.